Hey guys, and welcome back to The Sims 4. My name is Abby, and today we're doing another CAS video. I'm really excited for this one. I think I've talked about it in at least one previous video that I've done, that I was going to do a CAS video and also a speed build of a home from a TV show that I've been watching, which is Golden Girls. This is something that I've been watching a lot recently, but I mean, it's something that I've watched like my whole entire life because my grandmother was a big Golden Girls fan. I don't know really who my favorite is because I don't know. I love each character. They're so great. It's a great show. And I had forgotten how much I actually loved the show until like recently I found it on Hulu. I don't know if they just put it on Hulu or if I just noticed it on Hulu, but I started watching it and I was like, yes, I love this. I love it so much. So I did some Sims here inspired by the Golden Girls, and I'm also going to be doing a house. I think they live in actually a condominium, but I wanted to do like it's a house on its own lot. So what's the difference? Are like condominiums just like repeated the same thing over and over again? Is that what the difference is? I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid. That's probably it. Anyway, so I am doing a house building, like a speed build for the Golden Girls here. And I've just kind of, I'm about halfway through it, I guess. Maybe not quite halfway. I've got the living room finished. I started working on one of the bedrooms, and I decided through the middle of it that I wanted to go ahead and get the CAS video out of the way so that I could actually move the Sims in and make sure that everything was working properly. So for part of the video in the speed build, you'll notice that I don't have anyone living there, so I have like the infinite money symbol down in the bottom corner, and then you'll notice that it changes to where I have like 2 million simoleons, and that's where I've moved the Golden Girls actually into their home. So it's pretty exciting. I'm really excited about this one. I like to do things that are inspired by TV shows and stuff, and I really didn't have a lot of inspiration for the past few weeks because I've had finals and I've been sick and everything else going on, so getting back in and getting inspired like this has just been really great. It's felt really, really good. And I didn't realize how like we're just really lacking in the like 80s department as far as build mode items and also like creative sim items. Like there's just not much you can do as far as trying to make it look like you're living in the 80s, but I did what I could. So Blanche here has a lot of floral patterns going on, some really loud colors. I thought she made the most sense to be like in some really loud colors because that's what she does. She wears really bright and floral prints, and I really liked that jumpsuit on her from just a minute ago. It looks really good on her. I don't really use that jumpsuit a whole lot, so it worked out really well. I did use a lot of items that I don't normally use here, so at this point now I've gotten like just some random Sims down in the bottom corner there, so I've just went through and named my Sims so that I have everybody's names put in, because it's taking me a little while to Google and make sure I was spelling some of their names correctly, and also I was going back and forth looking at photos and trying to make sure that everybody looked as close to the actual person they're based on. So Rose here, which is played by Betty White, I think that my Blanche Sim may be the closest to the actual person. I think I don't know if it was maybe because it was the first one that I did and I just spent a lot more time working on it, or if it just so happened to be easier to portray Rue McClanahan as a Sim. I don't know. Maybe the one that's the farthest from is the one that's supposed to be representative of Dorothy or B. Arthur. And it's just really hard to mimic size and stature in the Sims. You can't really make them a different height, and Dorothy's supposed to be really tall, so she just doesn't look quite how I imagined her to look. I do make her arms a little bit, or her shoulders a little bit wider, so you will see that whenever we get to Dorothy. But Rose here, I really like the hair that I put on her. I think it fit really well, even though I think in the TV show it's probably a little shorter than that. But I think she kept it blonde for the most part. I've really been watching mostly the first season. I really haven't gotten very far into it, but like I said, I've been watching it my whole life, so I've seen like bits and pieces from other seasons too, but I haven't like sat down and watched them like back to back to back like this before. So it's kind of I probably won't have things in the house or things on the Sims that may come into play later, like different hairstyles or just like pieces of jewelry or something. Like for example, I do have the vase, or is it vase? I don't know. That thing, it sits by the front door, and it's in one of the episodes in the first season, and Rose gets a gun and accidentally shoots it, so it busts everywhere. But I do have it like sitting next to the front door, like just items like that you would only really know are in the show if you watch the show. Like I said, it's just things from the first season because I'm not very far into watching it. Even though I've seen it a lot throughout my life, because like I said, my grandmother always watched it when I was younger. They're just hilarious. Like, things that I did not pick up on when I was a kid because it was like adult humor, It's so funny. And my dad like was adamant about, no, we're not watching this, because he just didn't really want to get into the Golden Girls. I guess because my grandmother watched it a lot when he was younger too. So he had to watch it all the time, but he got into watching it with me because it's just so funny. They're hilarious. They're so funny. To be older women, there's like a stereotype that women aren't quite as funny as men, and I agree, because men have a little bit of a different humor. Men can get away with a little bit more, like as far as talking about disgusting things. It's only so long before a woman starts, it starts to be like, okay, maybe you should not talk about stuff like that because it's really gross. So yeah, I mean, men can just get away with more. It's just how it is, it's just biology, I suppose. Maybe that's unpopular opinion, I don't know, but you can disagree with me, that's fine. Everybody should have their own opinion. That's how the world works. So just a little tidbit of information there. Yeah, not everybody's gonna think the same way as you forever. How did we get into this conversation? I don't know, but anyway, we are now working on Dorothy, as Blanche says. So my grandmother's name is actually Dorothy. I don't call her Dorothy, or I don't think anybody else does either. A lot of people call her DJ because her name is Dorothy Jane. So DJ, Dorothy Jane, that kind of thing. I don't know if you guys like hang around with your grandparents a lot and their friends, but I do sometimes with my grandmother and her friend. Janice is her name. And it's hilarious half the time. We went to a thrift store. We went to several thrift stores a couple of weeks ago. Maybe it was a month or so ago. I went with them. I think one of them had a doctor's appointment or something, and I drove them. And then we went to some stores after that. I think maybe it was something else that happened. I don't know. But anyway, we were going through stores, and they've known each other since high school. So it's been a long time that they've been friends, and like the back and forth between them was just hilarious. And my grandmother is she's a very picky person when she shops, especially at thrift shops. So you would think a $5 shirt like is a really good find, right? Well, no, she's like, I'm not giving $5 for that. I would give maybe 50 cents for that. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go put it back. Thought you might like it, but okay, $5 is too much for us. 50 cents, all right. And then she haggles with the people too. She's like, okay, maybe this is worth 25 cents, but it's not worth $1. And it's really funny. I was Snapchatting the whole day, like recording them and sending it to my brother because he thinks they're hilarious too. It's just so funny. So my favorite Golden Girl to work on, I think, was Sophia, because she's just so cute. She's adorable. And she's not really mean, but something happened to her. They've mentioned it a couple of times, and something's happened to her, so like she doesn't have like a filter in her brain. She literally says whatever she's thinking. And working on her was just really cool because I hadn't used these tortoise shell glasses before, and I used those, and I used a lot of stockings, especially since she's supposed to be the oldest, although I think she was younger than Dorothy, who's supposed to be her daughter. The woman who played Sophia was actually younger than B. Arthur. What is her name? Estelle something? I don't know. I used to know all of their names, first and last. Still know 3 out of the 4 anyway. Estelle, that's her first name, I think. Can't think of her last name right now. I'll think of it later, though, after I've finished recording this. But I'm really glad to be back into recording and also back into doing some CAS videos. Like I said, the reason I've started doing them again was because I got a lot of attention on my Futurama CAS video, which I think might have been the last one that I did before the Minnie and Daisy one. And that's been a long time. And so I've got like almost 200 views on that one. And I don't, I'm still kind of new to YouTube, so I'm still learning what to do, how to make things better, and hopefully things will get better as time goes on. But yeah, I started getting back into CAS videos because I noticed that video had picked up a little bit of traction. So hopefully you guys are enjoying them. I know I'm enjoying making them. I really hope you guys like this video, and maybe I'll do like one gameplay video of like the Golden Girls in their house. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe down below. You can find these Sims on the gallery. They're already up, and you can find their house very shortly. But anyway, thank you guys again for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon.